So I thought I'd bring you up here to the Craftsman, calling it the Beast is what we're calling it. It's 22 horsepower with a 50-inch deck, and we flipped this one. It really didn't need a lot of work. I painted the hood and kind of refurbished the transmission. I changed the oil and filter and put a new belt on it. I think we changed the spindle on this on the mower deck, put a seat cover on it, and it was up and running. I mean, this has been a fan. This is one of the best mowers that we have flipped. Hands down, the best. Needed the least amount of work, and in my opinion, would be probably the most dependable mower that we've had so far that we've flipped. Well, I've told you the backstory a little bit on this. We sold this already once and had to buy it back. The guy used it as a brush hog, and it had two problems right off the bat. In 15 minutes he broke the belt, so we got a new belt, put it on. Took about a week to do that, and then he said the deck wasn't level anymore. Well, it just happened to be a couple R pins is all it was. An R pin is this thing right here. So he was mowing so hard and so thick of stuff that he must have knocked it and knocked the pins out. The new belt we put on had a cut in it, so he obviously had to stick up in there and it cut something. I checked everything, and there's just nothing that was cutting it. And I would think that if it was cutting, there was something underneath there, like a pulley or something cutting the belt. There'd be multiple cuts, but it was just one cut. So he abused it and then didn't want to keep it. You know, you question whether he did that on purpose. After the second time I said, yeah, I can level the deck, but I could give you your money back too. And he accepted that. So here it is, end of the season. He had a field that he wanted to get knocked down. Didn't want to hire a brush hog. You know, that would have been a couple $100 probably. Didn't want to buy a mower. So it was easier to rent one and somehow get your money back for it. It was kind of insane. So somebody said, well, I guess that's why you don't like people. And the truth of the matter is it's not that I don't like people. That's just the wrong way to put it. I'm not a people person. I do see flaws in people. I don't know if it's my personality or if I have a heightened sense of things. I mean, I can see people's expressions on their faces that I don't think other people can see. To tell me that and I'm not trying to brag, this is just my personality, this is just who I am. And I can see that they're not who they say they are. Rarely do I find anybody who is who they say they are. Carolyn, when I met her, I didn't get any sense of wrongdoing or manipulation or lying. She seemed pretty straightforward, and to this day I've never caught her in a lie. I've never heard her say anything unfriendly or mean or deliberately callous. We get along fantastic. So that's just an example of I guess I've just gotten to an age where I can see through people pretty easy. So to finish up the story on the lawnmower real quick, some guy came over and says, I was on the porch and I said, let me get the key, I'll be right there. And as I was getting the key, he kicks the deck. I mean, fairly hard. He mouthed something and I didn't know what it was. So when I came back out, he kicked the deck again like he was mad at the mower. And I was about ready to say, dude, that's about enough of that. And he says, that's a cheap blank mower. And so now I know what he mouthed when I went inside. That's what he said. And he says, what do you want for this piece of... And I told him the price. He says, no. And I know he's getting ready to talk me down. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to let you talk me down. So I said, okay, have a good day. And I walked off. I didn't start it. I didn't listen to him. And he walked on. I don't know if he came in here with an attitude, or if he came in here thinking, I'm going to talk this guy down, so I need to, tell him that this thing's not worth it. I'm the expert in lawnmowers. Well, I guess he didn't expect me to not buy it. It's just aggravating. I would never do that. When I go buy a mower, and I don't want to buy the mower after, whatever was said. A while back, we drove 50 miles to go pick up a mower. He said it ran, had some issues, described the issues in quite detailed issues. The guy seemed fairly honest online. But when I got there, I tried to turn the engine by hand and it wouldn't turn. So it was froze up. And I just looked at the guy and said, I know we agreed to this and I'm sorry, but I just can't use another mower with a frozen engine. I already got one and I just can't use another one. And I felt like that was at least, well, first of all, it was honest. I already do have one and I can't use another one. I don't need it. My job is to flip these things, not to store junk lawnmowers. So I felt like it was honest, and I'm not trying to degrade the person, not trying to degrade the person's ethics or anything. He obviously didn't know that it was not locked up. He didn't repost it. So, or I should say, he didn't know it was locked up, and he didn't repost it. So I feel like he honestly didn't know, which is fine. I don't have a problem with being honest and mistakes. That's fine. But the constant gaslighting that you see nowadays, I know that's a newfangled word everybody uses, but they are manipulative. People have become just complete manipulative people. I read my comment section all the time. I make a video about 22s and the ATF and that kind of stuff, and they still get lots of views. And people will tell you, well, here's how you get around that, and then whatever it is, it's a lie. They're telling you to lie to law enforcement, which is illegal. You're not allowed to do it. Specifically, one of the videos I made a while back, it was last year, ATF was trying to make a new rule that said that if you sell a gun, you can't sell it for profit. So, if you get it for free, you got to give it away for free. It was the interpretation of the ATF rule. And I made a video about it. And so many people said, well, that's simple. Sell them a scope for $500 and give them the gun. Yeah, sure. That's a good idea. So when the ATF goes to the buyer and says, hey, did you buy this from, that guy up the road? Yep, sure did. I see you don't have it registered. Why didn't you get it registered? So now he's in violation of the law, right? So let's say the ATF wants me more than they want him. So how much did you spend on that rifle? Well, he told me to tell you that he sold me a rifle scope for $500, but he gave me the rifle for free. But that's not really what happened. I asked him if he had a rifle for sale, and he said, yeah, he had it for sale. So I just been busted. So when the ATF comes up here and tells me, says, hey, did you sell that rifle? No, no, I gave that away. That was free. Well, this guy down here says he gave you $500. Yeah, that was for the scope. Well, they already got me. So people get caught in their lies, and the thing is people don't even realize they're getting caught in their lies. The comment section is constantly filled with lies, and they act like they're never going to get caught. All you got to do is Google some of the stuff they say. And it's just a straight up lie, just constantly trying to get one over you. And the other one they always got to give, and it's a lie when they do it. They give you their resume. I've been working on lawnmowers for 50 years, and that's not how it works. When I just made a video showing you how it works. Huh, that's strange. It works. So, I just, it's easier for me to avoid people. And to sit there and constantly allow them to manipulate. The other day on Facebook, a town pretty far away from here, Facebook group, it was Columbus Day, and somebody posted, hey, the park, the city park, you know, the tax-funded city park isn't open today. They got the doors locked, or the gates locked. I didn't know they did that, she said. Oh, I needed to walk my dog, and I couldn't walk my dog. No place to go. So a city employee, a park employee, said, oh, no, we're open. You can come on back. If you see the gates are locked after they're supposed to be open, you need to call, and gave the phone number, because, you know, sometimes we just forget to open the gates. You know, we get to horsing around in here and ha ha ha, you know. And then she said, LOL. So I replied, wait a minute. You're telling me that an 18-year-old kid working at Taco Bell goes into work, you know, preps up the taco bar, and gets busy and forgets to open the door at 5 a.m. or, you know, whatever time, 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Forgets to open the door. So at 10:15, he's like, oh no, I gotta open the door. He goes and opens the door. Well, of course, the boss comes in later and sees the monitor, or, you know, whatever it is, the computer system, and sees the door was open 15 minutes late. 18-year-old kid gets fired. And this government employee, who is funded by taxpayers, by the lady who wanted to go in and walk her dog, that's who pays this woman's salary. The dog walker pays the government employee to open the door at 9 o'clock or whatever time it's supposed to be open. But no, the taxpayer. Now, when you think about taxpayer are two people in one. First, they're the customer. The customer is now having to call Taco Bell and say, hey, Taco Bell, your doors aren't open at 10 o'clock like you advertised. What's going on? Well, you've just upset the customer. Second, which isn't like Taco Bell, is the taxpayer is the boss. So you're telling the boss, hey boss, I'm too lazy to do my job, so you just give me a call. Well, you know, these kind of things aggravate me. I see through it. And the thing is, a lot of people said, boy, you'd be a real dud at a party, or, you know, whatever. Oh, give them a break, it's Monday after all. No. I don't understand this giving them a break thing. So again, it may be my personality. Everybody shows up late once in a while. I know this is a government job, but here's what's so funny. Show up late once to work in the Navy. Just once. You're not going to get away with it. So, between seeing that most conversations that I get involved with, there is a lie somewhere involved in that conversation. And there's immoral activities, and there's gaslighting, and there's manipulation in almost every conversation that I engage in. I mean, for example, people talk behind your back. They're just great to you right up to your face, and then they'll talk behind your back to people you know. And then when those people tell you, hey, so-and-so told me this about you, that person denies it. Oh no, they're lying. Wait a minute. Why do I got 10 people telling me that you said this, and you're saying all 10 of them are liars? So you finally get the truth out of them. Oh, and they don't take responsibility. What they do is they tell you how it's your fault. Well, if you hadn't have done this, you know, I wouldn't have went around talking bad about you. Well, confront me. I'll confront you. If I don't like something you said, just like with the government worker, or even face to face, if you've done something that I don't agree with, I talk to you about it. So the world has become, well, the world has become evil. I said this to my dad a while back. The devil's walking around here. He's here. I don't know if he's famous. I don't know if he's working in the background. I don't know where he is, but he's here. The devil is actually here. And he has convinced us of things that are completely upside down. I can't say this on YouTube, but men and women's bathrooms are no longer men and women's bathrooms, for example. And somehow, people believe that you can all of a sudden become something else and go into young girls' bathrooms. Wait a minute. How is it that the world believes this is a true statement? I know I'm going to get just all kind of hateful comments for this. How is this a truthful statement? The devil has convinced us of something that is absolutely incorrect. There's nothing that states that this is correct. The world's upside down, and I'm just not going to tolerate it. That's why I live here. That's why I live off grid, and I stay away from people with a no trespassing sign, and I enforce that no trespassing sign. When an old woman comes on the property and wants to talk to Carolyn, no. I know, that was terrible. The comment section just lights up every time I say that. But she cannot follow simple instructions, which is don't trespass. So I have to enforce it, otherwise she'd be here all the time. And Carolyn has social anxiety. There's no reason why Carolyn can't stay in the house by herself if she wants to. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video where I was working on something. So if I can inspire you to find your peace, even if it's not what everybody else would do, so you can even live your dreams. Thanks for watching.